All right. Well, hey, good afternoon, everybody. How are all the Patriots out there doing on this Tuesday? Let's see, it's Tuesday afternoon and it's 2 o'clock Central Time. Yes, we're still in Central Time. A lot of people thought we had switched over to the Eastern Time Zone, but that is not correct. So, anyways, I'm going to wait a couple minutes to see who comes on. And as I always do, I'm just looking for somebody just to verify that they can see and hear the message coming across right now. There's only one person actually on here. But if you happen to come on here and you would like to say hello, that'd be great. I know I have a lot of new followers. I'm not going to get into the reasons why some people have left. It should be pretty obvious why some did. But we've got a bunch of new people that have joined, and there is Sandra Ewing. Sandra is not a new person. She's been following me for actually quite a while now. So it looks like Sandra can at least hear and see. So today I want to clarify something that I've been really trying hard to clarify, but I don't think enough people are really getting it. Okay. So I'll start off by saying this. And I'm being real as I always have been with you guys. Antoinette and I, we have a business and we're very excited about the business to the point that it grows each and every day. Okay. And there is, let's see, Lisa Gardner Trudeau. And so when I make comments on my profile, it seems like most people are thinking I'm talking about what's going on with Trump. That's not the case. I told everybody yesterday there's a lot of stuff that's happening, but it's all like behind the scenes. And I do post what I know inside the Passionate Patriot Telegram feed. But right now, and I'll explain to you why, and I suggest that you take this measure too, by the way. Right now, because me as John Ramsey, I have a lot of contacts, as most of you know. But there's nothing I can personally do to change the way our environment is and the tyranny that's going on. I mean, we're standing up and we're not submitting to the vaccine. We're not submitting. Heck, I still have not wore a mask yet. Okay, and part of the reason why we made our travel the way we did was because of that. I'm not going to get into the specifics. But when you start to realize that we traveled over 2,400 miles, you'll start going, wait a minute, how did you drive 2,400 miles? Well, there's a reason why we did. But I'm not going to get into that, okay? I'll just say this, is that I'm very determined and I stand up for what I believe in. But one of the things that I believe in is what's called free enterprise. Free enterprise is when you have the ability to work for yourself from home. And I think more and more people are realizing the importance of that. And I'm talking about patriots now. That's really what our country was founded upon. And we're shifting back. And the ones that don't catch it, unfortunately, are going to get left behind. Just yesterday, I received 3 more messages from people that said, I could tell they were desperate because they said, John, I don't know what I'm going to do. Now they're telling me if I don't take the jab between now and I think it was 30 days, they no longer have employment. And I do feel for people that are running into this. I really do. So don't think that I'm heartless here. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I've been saying this now for 3 to 4 months. I don't think enough people really paid close enough attention. And I can tell you why. And this is the reason. Hey there, Greg. You all know, at least the ones that have followed me, you know I love America. I mean, if I could get back into the battleground again, I would. And very well may have to at some point, the way things are going. But listen to me, folks. The biggest problem with America right now, like I'm looking at America, and then I look at, hey there, Derek, how you doing, brother? I look at America, and then I look at like countries like France. and I look at countries outside of the United States, and I see how they're not taking this BS. They're standing up for what they believe in. Americans, I was just having this conversation with a guy the other night. I said, look, America is the spoiled child. It really is. It is the spoiled child. In America, if you are making, let me give you some numbers here. If you are making like $50,000 a year in America, especially if you live in California, that's poverty, right? But do you know that 50 grand in other countries, I mean, you're living on the mountaintop. And what happens is we have too many people that get spoiled and they think that things are always going to be, the way they are. Hey there, Eric. By the way, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm not real clear, but I believe we've got, let's see, I got Sandra Ewings, Lisa Gardner-Turow, Greg Graham, Derek Turner, and Eric Ashworth. So, and these are all folks that have followed me for quite some time, okay? And I know I come across, and some people don't like the way I come across because they think, well, wow, you're being harsh. I'm trying to wake a lot of people up. People are running into the biggest problem right now because they're not willing to change. You're going to have to make some changes, guys. If you think that it's going to go back to the way it was, I don't think it will. I really think this, and I won't say New World Order because I don't believe in that, but I do think we're living in a new time. I really believe this is a new time frame that first you have to change your thinking. Because as long as you keep thinking what you've been thinking, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. It's pretty simple. And so when people are unwilling to make changes in their thinking, hey, Nancy, when they're unwilling to make changes in their thinking, they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. Now, I get people that message me and say, oh, I wish we could go back to the old days. What if you can't? So then what do? Do you just dig in your heels and say, well, I'm just going to continue to do business the way I've always done it? I don't think that's very smart. I really don't. Matter of fact, I know that's not very smart. What I'm going to start doing, and I shared it yesterday. Oh, I know what I need to address. It was almost humorous. And I don't say this in a mean, sarcastic way. But remember earlier when I said that a lot of times when people see me make comments, like yesterday, I said 7 phone calls today, right? And I had most of the people, they thought that it dealt with Trump or that it dealt with something that's going on in that situation. It had zero to do with that. Zero. It had everything to do with our business. So what type of a business do you have right now? I'm not talking about a JOB. That's not a business, okay? If you're trading your time, because that's what we got. You're never going to get more time. I have 24 hours in a day. You have 24 hours in a day, okay? So, and by the way, there's at least 1 or 2 people here that know exactly what I'm talking about. I know that for sure. They're now under the illegitimate administration. Biden is saying this. He's saying, look, if you work for another company, I don't care if you work from home for that other company, you're going to get the shot. Let that sink in. Does that sound like tyranny? Does that sound like they're trying to force you to do something even if you don't want to do it? That's what it sounds like to me. But see, the left have done they've done a really good job of convincing people that it's to help. And you know what the sad thing is? There's even a few patriots that have bought into this lie. Well, my favorite book, let's see who we got here. Okay, that's just Nancy making a comment. My favorite book says the very elect will be deceived. Look up what we're talking about when the book says the elect. I really believe that what we're on the verge of, I don't believe, now there is some people that do believe that the shot is the mark of the beast. And if you don't, please hear me and hear me with everything in my power to get across to you. If you do not believe in the mark of the beast, repent, rethink. By the way, repentance does not mean saying you're sorry. Repentance means you changing your mind. Okay? So give some serious thought to the mark of the beast. I don't believe, now I could be wrong, but I don't believe that the jab in it of itself is the mark of the beast, but I do believe it's the precursor. I do believe it's setting things up. Okay, that's my belief. Doesn't have to be yours. Okay, so please don't come on here and say, no, I don't agree with you, John. I don't think. You don't have to agree with me. I've always said you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we are in a time that we can't keep doing business the way we've been doing business. Because if you do, here's what Biden wants. By the way, did you see? Oh, I don't think I posted it yet. Biden is going to increase taxes on workers more than he ever said that he would. But that shouldn't surprise you. He lies about everything. Okay, so be prepared for that. If you work for a job, your taxes are going up. Okay, that is already the highest tax bracket, I should say, is being a W-2 employee. Some people say, that's all right, I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with that, guess what? Who am I to tell you you're wrong? What I'm saying, though, is it's going to get worse. I already said last night or yesterday afternoon that in the next probably 2 to 3 months, maybe sooner, the 100 employee mandate, as far as like the number of employees in a company, is going to be changed down to 50, and then from there down to 25. See, what they're doing is they're starting off with 100, which is unconstitutional. He has no right to do it, but they don't really care about the Constitution. They're trying to get rid of the Constitution. So this is where the change in the thinking has to be. Think about, this is what I always do. When I'm looking at the history of our country, and really the history of the world, the pioneers of the world have been people that thought outside the box, that thought differently than anybody else. Here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. I don't think anybody in this group or anybody that's going to watch this was alive at this point. But if you look at what happened in 1929, there was some horrific things that happened. It was just like 10 years previous was the Spanish flu, which that was a scam, of course, too. Every 100 years, something repeats like this, in case you didn't realize it. But there was a lot of people that went under, but there was millionaires that came out of that. Yes, you heard me right. There was millionaires that came out of that. You know what was different about those people, the ones that went under versus the ones that became millionaires? The way they thought. The way they thought. So if you're thinking that you're just going to keep doing what you've been doing as far as increasing or making your income, I sincerely wish you the best. But everything that I'm reading, everything that I'm hearing tells me you're going to run into a wall. I mean, you're going to run into a big wall, because that ain't the way it's going to work anymore. I remember back in 1992 when a gentleman walked up to me and he hit me with what I thought was a very intriguing, it was very thought-provoking. It was a thought-provoking question. He asked me, he said, do you ever look at other ways to create income? Now, I had just gotten out of the Air Force, as most of you know. And I was like, yeah. And I'm very glad that I did. Now, the way we did it then, the way we do it now is a little bit different. But it was called non-traditional. Non-traditional. Okay? Well, guess what? Flip switch. Because the traditional way of doing business today is going away. It literally is going away. If you think that the way you're going to make money is that you go to work in the morning and you put in 8 to 10 hours a day, and then in a couple of weeks you get a paycheck, I'm telling you, now if you want to submit to the jab, okay, now that's different. But if you are one of these people, and I know most of you are, that I'm seeing names here, that is saying, hey, I ain't taking that jab, then you're going to have to find another way. You're going to have to find another way. So here's what I'm doing. I posted it yesterday, and I have a few people reach out to me. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm working on something with the Patriot Business Network and the people that we're really good and connected with, right? And I'm going to start doing Zoom presentations. But here's where I want to make sure there is no misunderstanding, because these are Zoom presentations that are totally different than the Zoom presentations that I was doing before, where I'd come on I used to do the Monday and the Friday. You remember that? The Monday, Friday, and then it strictly got changed to Mondays. So most of you that have followed me for a while, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about those. Now, will there be mention of things going on, with the world and with the Trump situation? Yes, I will. I'll throw that in there. But that's not going to be the focus. The focus is how you can make money, how you can actually take advantage of opportunity that is out there now. And I'm going to show you ways that will work. I'm going to show you ways that what we're doing work. And I'll show you that if you are coachable and teachable and you have hunger, there's nothing that can stop that kind of a person. Lazy people need not apply. I'm being very serious, because see, that's the problem, is people that I've found with Americans, they want handouts. And that's not what made our country great. What made our country great is hand ups. What made our country great is people that said, you know what? I don't know what exactly. Here's what I know. I don't want to do what I'm doing. I don't want to live the way that I'm living. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And more people are going to become sick and tired of being sick and tired. My mentor back in the 90s, he told me, he said, dig the well, John, before you need the water. And you've heard me say this a lot. Well, guess what? It's getting thirsty time. We're at a crossroads. Now, I hope this doesn't happen. But everybody that I'm talking to is telling me that this stuff that we're dealing with right now with Biden is not going to be gone in a couple months, or is not going to be gone in a month. So if that's what you're banking on, here's what I mean. I really sincerely hope you've got a bunch of money packed away. I really mean that, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. So, yes, that's my message. And I know this is probably not what a lot of people wanted to hear. Do I still keep a track on what's going on with TRUMP? Yes. And matter of fact, I got a very, but I didn't let it discourage me. I will let you know this. And I'm not going to get into specifics, but a few of you, I know for one person for sure knows what I'm talking about. Yesterday, no, it wasn't yesterday, it was Sunday. Sunday, I received a text message, and it said, your interview with blank has been postponed for a later date due to unforeseen circumstances. Now, I could have sat back and went, man, oh man, but see, I didn't. And because, you know what? I can't control that. I just said, okay. And I replied, and I just said, when he's ready, I'm ready. So I'm going to continue to keep moving forward with the movement that we were on. But my focus right now for Antoinette and I, and for those that want to join us, is really to show you what it's going to take in this economy. Forget, and I say this with all due respect, forget about what 2019 was. Forget about what 2015 was, because we're not living there right now. This is a different world, right? We're in right now. And I'm just hoping enough people hear this message. So we have something we believe very strongly in, and we know that it works. It's been proven to work. I'm working with, and I'm not going to say the name because I'll just put it to you this way. I'm working with right now probably one of the top 5, and I think he's higher than that, but one of the top leaders in the whole industry of what we do. That's how powerful this gentleman is. And we're working on putting something together that's going to be like nothing else. If you were one of those people that back in February responded and said, hey, because I had posted about, the fact that would you like to have an alternative to what Jeff Bezos has with Amazon? Over 200 people that day said yes. It's here. It's about ready to launch. And a lot of people kind of had fallen off the track. One, because it's taken a long time for it to, but that's how technology is, guys. But number two is because you don't understand what this new system looks like. So if you want to know what we're doing and how it's working and how many lives it's changing, then reach out to me. Those 7 phone calls, well, the people I've spoke with so far, they're flat out excited because they see what we're doing. So if you want to be put on the list for the Zoom presentations that we are going to be starting to do most likely next week, it won't be this week. We're still doing some, getting settled in. But we will be doing Zoom presentations. But remember, these are Zoom presentations that focus on business, and it's not the kind of Zoom presentations we were doing. So again, if you want to be put on that list, then send me a message, say, John, I'd like to be on that list, and I'll get you the Zoom code. It is not the Zoom code that you had for your Monday and Friday. It is a totally different Zoom code, and it's something that I think if you're really hungry and really looking, you're going to like what you see. So let me just verify. There was a few other people jumped on here. Sandra Ewing, Lisa Gardner Trudeau, Greg Graham, Derek Turner, Eric Ashworth, Nancy Mitchell, Gina Bishop, and Linny DiDiano. So God bless you. God bless America. And I don't know if I'll be back today or not. Got a lot going on, but I may jump on here later on this evening. Talk to you then.